Hey everyone, happy summer solstice. All the dads out there, happy Father's Day. I want to show you my bees. My allotment, I've got loads of stuff in there. My favourite thing I think I'm growing this year is my sweet corn in the kohlrabi, because I never grew kohlrabi before. But what these can give me is my favourite crop of all, sweet honey. And I love going through them every week. Every week I come down, look through my bees, tell them all my stories. And I think that it's fascinating insects. I've been interested in nature and animals and just life, I suppose, since being a young guy. And honestly, these highly evolved insects give us so much joy, especially during lockdown. I've said it loads already. I found lockdown difficult. It's a tricky thing, and being able to come and see my bees, being able to spend time with the allotment has really helped me mental health, helped us keep a little bit more sane. So I want to show you an inspection. I'm going to have a look through, see how they are. What I'm looking for is any signs of swarming. If they're running out of space, they're going to swarm. I'll lose my queen. They'll leave eggs, they'll leave bees behind. It will make another colony, but it'll take around a month. That means less honey. That means I've got less chance of getting them healthy enough to get through the winter. And this is my strongest hive. There's probably about 60,000 bees in there. So let's see how it goes. Come and see me bees. First thing you do is crack the lid, get the lid off them. This is the crown board that goes on top of the hive. Look at all those bees. They're everywhere. That's a deep box, big box filling up with honey. A much smaller box, that's filling up with honey too. And then the third box. See, I want to leave every hive with a full super box of honey, about 30 pounds of honey, to get them through the winter. So I won't harvest anything from this. I'll only harvest what's above. I might take it if I know they can fill it back up. Otherwise, I'll leave them to it. So this bit of metal, this grate, is a queen excluder. All the worker bees can come up with the pollen and the nectar and store it up above, but the queen can't get through. Let's work through. Hey girls. Always make sure the queen isn't on top. You don't want to lose the queen. So these are on a double brood, well, brood and a half. So they've got a full brood box and then a super. Plenty of space for that queen to lay. There's now on that frame, it's a spare frame for them to draw out. What he's got going on, girls? Lovely. When I'm looking through as well, I'm looking for signs of eggs. I'm looking for signs of brood. If I see eggs, the queen's been there in the past 3 days. You don't need to find the queen when you inspect the bees. You need to see signs that she's there. I'm also looking for signs of disease. The varroa mite, a little red mite, that likes to go on the bees in the brood stage, in the pupa stage, and that can give them I think it's called chronic bee paralysis. You get bees with dodgy wings and they don't form very well. It can devastate a hive. So while I'm looking for me eggs, larvae and brood, one of them tried to sting us. I'll have a little peek to check the hive health. This beehive, one colony, it's almost like one entity, but there's also individual bees in there. So you want to look at them as individuals, you want to look at it as a whole. I see here. That's a queen cell. All this is worker brood, but that is drawn out a queen cell. Let's see if there's anything in it. There's no in there. Oh, there was an egg, and because it's in the middle of a frame, they might be doing a supersedure, so they might be trying to make a new queen. I'm not concerned that I knocked that down, because there's eggs, there's brood. They can do it again if they want. If I find too many queen cells, we're going to split them. We're going to make them think that they've swarmed. Let's see what goes on there. More brood, worker brood. There's the queen.
Got a little red mark on her back. I don't know if you can see it.
What I'm doing there is just destroying any more queen cups. We do make queen cups all the time. It doesn't mean that they're going to swarm. If they're charged, they're probably going to swarm. Beautiful bees. Come see me bees. Lovely. It's another few cups. I'm not concerned. Alright girls. Right, I'm away from the brood nest now, and this is just looking like stores. It's just looking like some nectar and honey stores. And that wonderful, wonderful bee bread. Oh no, I was wrong. Loads more brood. What a productive hive. We're in the main box now. Let's see what happens. We've drawn out that frame pretty well. Hopefully we'll fill that with brood before long. So yeah, so far these have got plenty of brood, they've got plenty of stars. So let's keep going from strength to strength. It's a busy hive. So the different colours in the pollen storing. It's beautiful. Yeah, eggs, larvae, brood, that's what I want to see. These are going to have no bother getting through the winter. As long as I can keep your swarm management under control, these are going to do just fine. Whoops, come on girl. Some of us get trapped between the frames I'm putting it back. So I like to be careful I don't squash any bees. So they all count. You can blow on them to move them out of the way. Lovely honeybees. And you know, it takes 12 bees their entire life, which is only about 6 weeks, but it takes 12 bees their entire life to make 1 teaspoon of honey. 1 teaspoon. That's why a colony has thousands and thousands of bees. They all work together. They work together to build their stores up, keep the colony strong. Give them a little bit of smoke to get off the top bar. And what's in the smoker? A bit of cardboard, a bit of little bits of wood that I find. See the cells that are closed? They're going to be workers. Workers are going to come out of there. All the cells that are open, they've either got an egg in them, or they're being cleaned by the nurse bees for the queen to lay a new egg in there. And the cycle of the bees continue. Come on girl, out the way. Come on. Pure buzzing with that. Now Homestead Aquarius. I've been watching quite a few videos of your channel, and I love that you're nurturing frogs, the tadpoles. In your gardening, you're thinking about the insects, you're thinking about the whole circle, looking after each other. Because humans are animals too, just we wear clothes. And I really dig that. I love insects, I love the animals. It's so interesting, man. So much we can learn from them. I could spend hours looking through these bees, watching them go about, but I don't, because it disturbs them, stresses them out. So I'll watch videos and read books about it. So now on that frame, so this one's gone in there next to it. I know, girls. Right, now we're putting them back together. It's also why smoke is useful. Smoke them down. You don't want to squash them. Smoke them down. Next box. Put it almost on, then twist. Don't squash the bees. Come on girls, in you go. Put it almost on. Spin. And that. Scrape the bees back off or in. Next box. Oh, it's a heavy one. Next box. Final box. And the crown board. And the roof. Come see the bees flying in. You see some bright coloured pollen on the back legs where they've been foraging. The foragers go back into the hive, offload nectar, they give that to other bees who go and store it, offload the pollen, and back out they go. Back out to get more. There you go. Let's go through another colony. I'll try to keep my smoker out your way. Hey girls, hello there. Crown board comes off. I've got the roof upside down on the floor. Crown board goes on top of that. I use my tool to break the super. Usually not as drastic as that. That's a pretty heavy box there. That goes on top of the crown board. The crown board's on top of the roof, upside down on the ground. I don't want to be standing in between that because bees are going to fly back and forth. Next super. It's a fair weight as well. I'd say that's about half full. Now I'm down to the brood nest, the brood box. A little bit of smoke. Get the queen excluder off. And the important job, we check that the queen isn't on the queen excluder. If she is, and I pull it down, she gets mixed up in the supers, eggs start getting laid in my supers, it's a mess. We don't want that. Hey girls, where have you been? Nothing on that frame. The end frame's usually empty. They're drawing that out. That's how it starts. A sheet of wax. I want them to draw out that wax. You see? From that blank sheet, they're starting to make the cells. Amazing, eh? There's brood on there. I see eggs in the bottom of the cells. Eggs in the bottom of the cells. The queen's been there for the past 3 days at least. She's more than likely still in here. That's good. That's good. See the fat bees? The fatter ones on the male, they're drones. The little ones, female workers. The workers could be assigned, well not assigned, kind of doing various jobs, from being a nurse bee, looking after the queen, looking after the brood. There could be foragers. There could be guard bees, they could defend the hive. Depending on what stage of life they're at, it's depending on what job they do. I blew on them just to move them out of the way. I'm looking for queen cells. I'm looking for any signs of disease, whether that's the varroa, whether there's some foul brood in there. I'm looking at the bees as an individual, but I'm also looking at the colony as a whole. Have they got enough stores to get through the next week? Is the queen laying in a good pattern? Are there enough bees to look after the brood? Are the bees there at all? In this hive there's a lot of bloody bees. So yep. Yes, there are. You might be able to see a bee shaking and moving around in a certain direction. There. She's doing a waggle dance. She shakes. That tells you how far to go. She moves around in a direction. That tells you which direction to go. And she's telling all the other foragers, look, I found some belting forage over there. Come try it. Come get it. It's the waggle dance. Little dancing bees. Do you see it? There's a pink mark on her back. She's around there, the queen. She's so much bigger, and there's a little pink mark on her thorax. That just makes it easy for me to find her, in case I need to split. If you can't find her, pause it. You might see her. She's lovely. Well done, queen. My assessment so far of this hive, there's no queen cells. Good. There's plenty of stores up top. There's stores on the brood frames. Good. There's loads of brood. There's loads of eggs. I don't see any chronic bee paralysis, no dodgy wings. I don't see any foul brood. The temperament, it's good. These bees are chilling. They're nice bees to work with, these. Has she got space to lay again? Yeah. Yes, she has. Some of these capped cells, they're going to be emerging soon. They get cleaned out, they get laid in again. There's empty frames on the ends where she can lay. Beautiful bees. These last two frames, I can already see there's nothing on them. They're just drawing out the wax, ready for Her Majesty to lay in. So I'm going to put this one back here, so it's not interrupting the brood pattern. Before I do that, I'm going to double check in case I am interrupting the brood pattern. I was. Please, I checked. That can go in there. Push out of these frames back. Isn't that lovely? Loads of bees in there. These are the boxes that I took off. See that on the floor? Roof's upside down, crown board. Super stacked on top. So I'll cover them with smoke, let them go down. Queen excluder goes back on top. Supers go back on top. I'll see them again next week. Let's put these back together, girls. Smoke them down. Don't squash your bees. Every bee counts. Queen excluder. Put it on slightly, give it a twist. Then you can avoid crushing bees. First super. Oh. Let's pull a super frame. Let's see what's going on in here. That's the metro, the train going past. They don't seem to mind it. Even when I'm inspecting and the train comes past, I don't notice any change in behaviour. Next super. Let's tie it on. Oh no, my crown board's stuck to it. Slightly on and twist.